Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode here. I'm just going to do a bit of a channel update, kind of give you my plans for the upcoming year for those that follow this channel and who are excited to see what content will be coming out, and just kind of my own philosophy about the channel and how I feel it's been going, and some of my goals for the new year, basically, that are related to this channel and just music in general and my listening to music. So, I really thought 2024 was a great year for the channel. I was really excited about where things headed here. I felt like growth was a little bit slower. I think I've kind of found my established audience, and I just get trickles of new people here and there, but it's pretty set and solid with the amount of subscribers that I have, which is fine. But I'm hoping to grow it a little bit more through next year is my hope. But I don't have grand master plans to become a big name YouTuber or anything. I know I'm a niche guy in a niche category, but I really enjoyed my time. I felt like I did a lot in terms of prog reviews. There was at least 50 or so prog album reviews that I did last year, and that doesn't even include all of the 20 reviews in 30 minutes kind of episodes that I did as well. So I covered well over 100 albums over the course of last year to recommend to you guys in various forms. So hopefully you appreciated that if that's what you're here for. I thought New Music Weekly did well, and it seems like people really like those weekly news updates. Some people have really given me good compliments about that, so that probably will be sticking around and not changing much. The thing that's been a little bit in flux and I've been a little bit uncertain how to proceed with is kind of the Prog Song Sunday of it all. I love doing shows with my wife, but I feel like the interest has kind of dropped for some reason. It has its kind of core fan base, but back in the day when I was first doing reactions with Jana, they were some of the biggest videos. They would routinely hit above 1,000 views, sometimes way above 1,000 views. But now, some of the things that we do barely reach into the 1 to 200 views. So there's obviously been some diminishing interest in those episodes for some reason. But I know it still has its core audience of people that love it. And it all depends upon what music we're discussing. If we're covering a classic prog band that everyone knows and loves, like Yes or Jethro Tull or Pink Floyd or Rush, those are going to get more attention just by the nature of people are going to click on things they know and be interested in that. When we cover more obscure modern prog acts, it gets very light views and attention, which is unfortunate to me because a big thing I'm trying to do on the channel is introduce people to more newer prog music. So I like to sprinkle in the newer prog bands in those reaction episodes, but they don't get much attention. People don't seem to care for that as much, but we're still continuing to do it. We're not going to get rid of it. We enjoy it, but we might sprinkle in more episodes that are just us discussing things or talking about a subject. That's kind of on our minds, of doing things where we can kind of interact and talk about stuff that interests us and hopefully interests the audience. Any ideas would be much appreciated, probably for any of these things I'm talking about. If you have ideas in mind of what you think you'd like to see on the channel, I'm always open. Of course, at the end of the day, I'm going to just do what I decide is best for me and for the channel, but always open to feedback, because I know a lot of you guys have some great ideas that I've incorporated over the years on the channel to improve it. So, but getting into some of my goals and ideas for the new year, this is kind of maybe counterintuitive, not what you'd expect as a goal for a music YouTuber, but I kind of want to listen to less music in 2025. I feel like I overdid it last year, and just I don't want music listening to become a chore where I'm just trying to get through as many albums in as little time as possible and trying to cram all of these extra albums in just to be able to recommend more albums to people. I want to focus on quality over quantity, focus in on the albums that I think are actually excellent and listen to them more for my own personal enjoyment, but also to be able to have more developed thoughts, to be able to share them with you, and to have a great curated list of albums that I think are well worth your time and attention. And it's all due to taste. I know a lot of people recommend albums and are like, why haven't you reviewed this yet? Why haven't you reviewed that? And sometimes certain albums just don't grab me for whatever reason, and I only try to do reviews and recommendations for albums that I actually really love and enjoy. So I want to focus a lot on quality over quantity, and it's just for me personally, because I have a lot of other hobbies and interests. If you didn't check it out, me and Jana did an episode about our 10 favorite things, talking about some of our interests and hobbies outside of YouTube and prog and music. So I want to take more time in my life to be able to read more and to be able to keep up with family and do those types of other things that I'm really interested in. And sometimes I feel like I sacrifice some of my other interests in order to just cram in as much music as possible. So I just want to focus in on the best of the best. It's not like I'm going to abandon or give up music listening. I'm always on the hunt. I'm always in search for new and great music to showcase to everybody. But I just want to like dial that in a little bit better, so I'm maximizing my time a little bit more is my goal for the year. I want to hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel this year. I passed 4,500 subscribers at the end of the year, so that was pretty exciting. But I think 5,000 is a reasonable goal. It might be a little bit of a stretch because I feel like growth, like I said, is kind of slowed quite a bit for the channel, and I only get new subscribers trickling in. But maybe if I focus on some really great content and bring in some new fresh items, maybe if you guys help spread the word, I don't know, maybe there'll be more attention. I'm always open to collaborating with other YouTubers. I go on the Prog Corners live stream episodes, and hopefully that puts my name out there a little bit more, and I'm always trying to like stay active in the conversations. I probably need to do a better job of communicating more to like YouTube comments and in social media and things like that. It's not really something I'm super comfortable with, but I try to do my best with. But I think it would be cool for the channel. That's kind of one of my big goals, is to at some point hit 5,000 subscribers. I think that's a cool landmark for the channel to showcase that, you know, I've made a pretty good stamp on this prog YouTube world by reaching that level. So we'll see if that happens, and if it takes a little bit longer to get there, that's okay. But that's kind of the stretch goal so far. I want to cover at least 80 new albums over the course of the year is kind of my plan, about 20 albums per quarter. My idea is to spotlight about 10 albums every quarter, you know, do a full-on review, have its own dedicated episode. And of course, this is mostly going to be in the world of prog. And then a quarterly roundup of about 10 albums per quarter to highlight the other things I've been listening to. And these can be any genre. I'm kind of thinking about stepping a little bit into other genres and trying to find music in other places outside of prog, and expanding my taste a little bit this year. We'll see how that goes. I tend to retreat back to my love of prog when I do try to branch out a little bit more, but you know, I'd love to incorporate listening to a little bit more of, you know, jazz or bluegrass, or, you know, maybe some more pop stuff, and you know, these other genres that I have some interest in, indie, alternative rock scene, and more classic rock and hard rock. You know, I'm interested in these other genres, but I focus so far into prog that sometimes I ignore the great music that's happening in other places. So we'll see how that goes, but that's kind of something in the back of my head, to be open to other genres of music this year. I only want to film or publish videos that I feel passionate about. I don't want to just get into this habit of doing clickbaity videos, which I don't feel like I've done much of, but I don't want to just do videos that I feel like are placating the viewers, doing things that I just think people want to see, but I don't really care for. It was kind of a lesson I learned this year. I tried in 2024 to do this classic prog band a month sort of theme, and it died about halfway through the year because I reached certain bands that I just wasn't as passionate about, even though I felt like if you're doing a run of classic prog bands, they should be included, but just not to my taste for whatever reason. And I was trying to force myself to listen to their music, to do episodes themed about them. And I just thought to myself, if I'm not enjoying this, then what's the point? I only want to do things that I love. This is just a hobby of mine. I'm not planning to become a professional YouTuber. I don't really make any money from this or do anything professionally in regards to YouTube. So it's just meant to be a fun outlet. And if I can help people come across great music at the same time, then that's an added bonus. So I'm just really focusing in on what I love and what I love to talk about, rather than feeling obligated to talk about certain things because that's what other people seem to want to hear about. And I want to emphasize my branding as the nicest guy in prog YouTube, because I feel like that's the niche that I come into within the prog YouTube spectrum. You know, Prog Corner starts his videos by talking about how he's the best prog rock channel on YouTube, And fair enough, he does a lot of hard work and he's a great YouTuber. And that's just not my ambition. I don't profess to be the best YouTuber in Prague. But I like just having a nice, calm channel, a calming presence, a place of positivity where we lift up artists and spotlight great new music and don't focus on the negativity of people who hate this album, hate this art. I know people have preferences and people have opinions, and that's okay, but I try to emphasize that this is a place of positivity, of joy, of happiness, and we lift people up, don't tear them down. You're free to share your opinions, and I am welcome to it, but I'll only talk about things that I really love and want to spotlight, and will never dive into the truly negative on the internet. So that's really my branding for the channel and what I want to emphasize as I continue with this YouTube channel. I think most people who know me are getting that message, but I like when I hear comments about that I'm a calming presence that they put on my videos to kind of relax to and to feel positive and uplifted, and I love that. That's really who I am at my core and what I want to bring to YouTube. And I may experiment. I haven't really decided to do this officially, but I was considering experimenting with some non-music style content on the channel. Maybe talk about some of my other hobbies and interests. Maybe talk about movies that I've been loving recently or books that I've been reading. General discussions just about life and things that are happening for me in various aspects of it. Talk about my writing and my progress in that field. I've been considering those things. I don't know for sure if that's what I'm going to do, but I felt kind of boxed in that I've become like purely a Prague YouTuber, but I have a lot of other things that I'd love to talk about and discuss. So kind of like testing the waters and feeling out how people feel about that idea. I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. I also want to focus a lot on my list that I compile. Maybe not a lot of people know about it, but with my New Music Weekly shows, I do the top 5 Prague singles every week, and I'm going to try to amass a big playlist, both on YouTube and I think on Spotify, of all the singles. Maybe at the end of the year, I'll do some kind of ranking of what I think were the best singles in Prague. But I feel like that's a cool, unique thing that I like to do, to put together these cool playlists and spotlight individual songs where most people are talking about albums. So I thought that would be cool to focus a bit more on that aspect and to shine a spotlight on some really cool new Prague singles that as they come out. Kind of do my own Billboard Hot 100, but for Prague music. So that's something I'm kind of developing and thinking about. So to kind of finalize this discussion, what you can expect, basically my typical show schedule, the plan as it stands now for a typical week on the channel. Monday will be the typical day I'll come out with new album spotlights. The newest albums that are grabbing my attention, that are coming soon if I have a promo. That I'm really excited about, and it may not be every single week, but most weeks I think I could safely say there should be some kind of new album spotlight to an album that I've been really loving lately. On Wednesdays, it's going to be kind of a random grab bag of shows. I haven't quite landed on a specific episode type, but this is where you might see a top 5 episode, or rankings, or rants, or vinyl hauls, or maybe that non-music content I was kind of flirting with the idea of. That will be on Wednesdays. And then Friday or Saturday will be my New Music Weekly episode, where I talk about the top 5 Prague headlines for the week. Mostly I like to do them on Friday, but sometimes work schedules get in the way and I'm not able to do it on Friday, so I move it to Saturday. But it should be coming out one of those 2 days, sometime through the weekend. And then Sunday is the Sunday Shuffle, which will be basically episodes with Jana, mostly shuffling songs and doing reaction episodes to different Prague songs. But we're also flirting with the idea of different discussion topics, maybe once a month doing something that's not a reaction, but us talking about a topic that we're interested in. We're experimenting with those ideas as well. So that's basically what you can expect on the channel in the near future. Hopefully some of that's exciting to you. Like I said, I'm open to suggestions and comments, but nothing too vastly different. It's pretty much business as usual, but with little small tweaks to just make it a little bit easier for me and to dial in like my philosophy of what I want for the channel for the new year. So thank you guys for joining me for this episode. Hopefully you found some interest and are excited for what's to come, and I'll hopefully catch you in a future episode. Thank you again, everybody. Bye. Enjoy the music.